Before we close out Chapter 4, I should alert you to the fact that while ratio analysis, financial statement analysis using ratios is very helpful, there are some potential problems and limitations associated with it. For example, some firms are truly conglomerates made up of many different divisions that are totally unrelated, and chances are that occurred due to a series of mergers and acquisitions through time. If that's the case, an industry average probably doesn't exist. There may not even be a peer to compare it to. And if the firm has changed over time, a trend analysis would be impossible as well. So those sorts of comparisons really don't have any meaning. Furthermore, some firms use different operating and accounting practices. So one firm in an industry may use a certain accounting practice, and another firm in the same industry may use a completely different one. A firm itself may change its operating and accounting practices over time, so comparisons might be off in those cases. Sometimes it's hard to tell if a ratio is good or if it's bad. And furthermore, it might be difficult to tell whether a company is on balance in a strong or a weak position. Some ratios may look good, another category may look bad. So as a whole, an analyst may not be able to pass judgment on the entire firm. We talked about industry averages. These figures are provided by various firms where they're calculated for different industries. Well, they're just averages. For some firms, an average performance is not necessarily good enough. Perhaps the firm should aim higher. Some firms are subject to various seasonal factors. If that's the case, that may distort some ratios depending on when those seasonal factors occur, depending on when the ratios are calculated. It is well known that some firms do take into consideration, or they do use window dressing techniques. They use different accounting tricks that might make their statements and ratios look better than they actually are, even when using generally accepted accounting principles. And inflation has distorted many firms' balance sheets, so analyses must be interpreted with judgment. That's particularly true for foreign corporations, where in their home countries inflation runs rampant.